Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the November 2021 Discmemberment. This is the Civil Gore Podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And even though this is a November Discmemberment, we are just days away from our favorite holiday, of course, Halloween. So I'm like prepared tonight, Tim. I got my pumpkin beer. This night's choice is Elysian's Night Owl, and I got some Halloween candy here. So I'm still in the Halloween spirit, even though we're going to be talking about discs that you can get for Thanksgiving season.
Yeah. We have some big plans coming up for Halloween. We have a Saturday night. We're going to a home haunt, which we go to every year, which is really super cool. And then for Halloween night, all the neighbors in the cul-de-sac are getting together. We're going to hand out candy. We're going to hand out shots to the adults. We're going to have a really good time, and then we're going to have a party after trick-or-treating's over. So really big blowout this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing. We have some relatives coming in, but I do know that we have Obi he's got more Halloween events than us, I think. He's got a costume contest at his daycare. And then we're going to this, one of the breweries has a Halloween dog competition contest too, so we're gonna dress him up and go there for that too. So we figure Obi will. I mean, it's like he's basically, it's the kids, so they're the ones that really want to make sure get to enjoy the holiday season. Of course, he can't have any candy because chocolate is bad for dogs, but we might have to find some kind of extra treats for him.
All right, well, let's get right into it. We have it's a big month, not in terms of releases. It's a pretty average month in terms of releases, but it is a 5-week or 5 Tuesday
it's so weird because
month.
November's a 30-day month, but yet it's got 5 weeks. Sometimes for some reason, it's only a day less, but for some reason, those 30-day 5-week months seem rare.
They seem weird.
Yeah.
Some pretty good discs coming out this month, so let's get right into it. This is the Blu-ray releases for November 2nd. And coming up first, this week is really loaded with a lot of Kino Lorber classics. I'm talking really classic movies, and the first one is no exception. This is The Secret of the Blue Room from 1933. A deadly secret from the past returns to haunt a young woman and her loved ones in Secret of the Blue Room. Irene von Heldorf's 21st birthday celebration is eclipsed when her father shares the dark details of his estate's guest room. 20 years earlier, 3 people were killed there, and their murders remain unsolved. Hoping to prove their own bravery and win Irene's love, each of her 3 suitors agrees to spend a night in the room, and a new string of deadly mysteries is set into motion.
Ooh. It doesn't have many features, but it's got one big one here, it looks like.
And we're going to start things off with a brand new film historian, I think, Brian.
Yeah.
This is a audio commentary by filmmaker and historian Michael Schlesinger.
Yeah, so I did some digging, as I tend to, and he doesn't like when they pronounce his incorrectly, regardless of the pronounce incorrectly, like with the hard G, because it's supposed to be actually Schlesinger. I typed it wrong on the other thing, but it's Schlesinger. But he doesn't like when people call him Schlesinger, because and the funniest thing is it's like, he happens to have lovely pear-shaped tones, so the singer would have made more sense. But he does not like when you do that. And funny enough, too, he also has one hell of a rendition of the Cole Porter classic, I've Got You Under My Skin. So he may want to change that. It may not be be hard and fast to correct people, because he might be a singer. So I don't know. Oh, yeah. If you think that one was bad, you're not going to get much improvement.
We got a lot of new historians this month.
I'm running the bottom of the barrel here with research on these. But the next one, release number 2, is from RLJ Entertainment. Of course, that's the Shudder distribution company that does all the great Shudder stuff on Blu-ray. And this is one that Tim and I both love, The Banishing from 2021. The Banishing tells the story of the most haunted house in England. In the 1930s, a young reverend, his wife and daughter move into a manor with a horrifying secret. We really liked this one when we got to see this.
Yeah, this is a great one. Good. I love any kind of haunted house movie.
This is And then plus period piece haunted houses. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was about to say that, but the period piece ones are probably my favorite. Other than the because you get a lot of them that are like the contemporary family that's just looking for a change, so they move to a new house, and those are okay. But when you get to like the real period pieces, those are the ones like I really attach to.
Yeah, because there's no cheap like, oh, we're gonna make the cell phone frizzle out. I'm looking at your Poltergeist remake, but yeah,
I just like the because I love reading about spiritualism and that era, and so like I'm reading a nonfiction book now about the rise of spiritualism. So yeah, I just like because those settings they just seem closer to that time period. I don't know. There's something about the theme of it I like better, the tone of it. Next up from Kino Lorber, we have one called Homebodies from 1973.
Oh my god, this trailer.
Oh my gosh. This is kind of like a horror comedy type thing. When a quiet group of pensioners learn that their homes are to be torn down to make way for a block of flats, they decide to take action. What starts as an attempt to discourage the developers soon escalates into wholesale murder of both the developers and the construction workers.
Yeah, this trailer was off the wall, and it starts off like really dramatic and like depressing, and there's this voiceover. It says they were 6 old people with nothing to do but kill time. Then they discovered something that made life worth living: murder. and then this trailer all of a sudden like turns into this zany slapstick comedy thing where it's like it's like a Benny Hill show all of a sudden.
Oh my god!
It's so I'm like, what the hell is this? But all I have to say is now I need to see it. I have to see this.
It has some good extras here. New 2K restoration from a 35mm print supplied by producer Marshall Backler. New audio commentary by director Larry Yust, moderated by editor-filmmaker Elijah Drenner. New interview with producer Marshall Backler. TV spot, theatrical trailer for Trick Baby, which is directed by Larry Yust and produced by Marshall Backler. And reversible art and limited edition O-card slipcase.
There you go. That was 73. Now we're going back a little bit further to 1935 here with another Kino Lorber classic here, and it's The Mystery of Edwin Drood. 1935. It's an opium-addicted choir master, John Jasper. Because that's like a total like Marvel Comics guy.
Oh yeah, it does
John
sound
Jasper.
Like an alter ego.
Yeah, becomes obsessed with a young student named Rosa Budd. Okay. His nephew, Edwin Drood, also holds a torch for the girl and asks her to marry him. Circumstances in their small Victorian town grow more perplexing when Drood disappears and the sordid details of Jasper's secret life come to light. So I saw the trailer for this. It was one of those, like, it's more of like a really extended scenes kind of trailer, but still looked like pretty cool for, 1935, so. Does have a audio commentary with our good buddy David Del Val, and of course, he's our Frankie Avalon dude. He used to do the Beachploitation movies in the '60s. Still has the Shatner hair, wears deep V-necks to let the Hasselhoff like chest hair hang out. Still living his best beach blanket bingo life. Smooth with the ladies like Richard Dawson from Family Feud. And if you have the Full Moon app, you could see there's a series there where he hosts things. So you could see how off we were on him, and also how on we were on him in certain things. So
he's probably the closest we've ever come.
Yeah, it's serious. It's like so many things that like are obviously not like that we've kind of embellished, but there's some things that are like I'm like, wow, we kind of got it right.
Yeah, like if you
how is that possible?
If you squint your eyes, maybe it's actually kind of accurate.
You squint your eyes and believe anything we say. Yeah, it looks exactly like it.
Next up from Shout Factory, we have Come True from 2020. A teenage runaway takes part in a sleep study that becomes a nightmarish descent into the depths of her mind and a frightening examination of the power of dreams. So
this one looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah. Did you see the trailer for this one?
Yeah, I had seen this one, the trailer a while back. So
yeah, I can get into this one. I think this one looks kind of neat. I like when there's like a scientific experiment kind of horror movie, I like those kind of things.
No extras on this one, just a trailer. So this is one of the bare bones Shout Factory releases. But Brian, you're going to bring us to our mutual pick of the week. This was a hard week to pick a pick of the week because there really nothing stood out to me. I really picked this one based on the premise alone. Just sounded really cool.
Yeah, same here. And that is Kino Lorber's "A Spider-Woman Strikes Back." 1946, and it's a young girl goes to work as a live-in caretaker for a spooky old woman. She doesn't know that every night the woman drains some blood from her to feed her strange plant. That's kind of cool.
Is it named Audrey too?
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. And this has got some decent, some good features. I mean, it's not many, but it's the two that they give you are solid. And that's first is the audio commentary by film historians Tom Weaver and David Schechter, of course. And Tom Weaver's that upbeat guy, likes to hang out at the beach and go to the Regal Beagle. He I don't know why I continue to say this guy, but once he invited 3 random friends he met at the beach to join him in the commentary. Those guys were Phil Sunburn Benson and Marty Martin and John Voight, the chiropractor, not the actor or dentist. And David Schechter, I guess we gave no impressions to, right? But he was there. I think we had him once before. We
had him last week. Sorry, not last week, last month.
And we didn't give him anything, right?
I don't remember. I don't think he was. I don't think he had graduated to historian.
Oh, right. I think he was just on the cusp. Because I saw his name, but it didn't ever say film historian next to it. So
yeah, I think we noticed him, but he wasn't a historian.
So now we'll have to come. Maybe I'll have to come up with something for. I'll have to dig deep. See, I purposely didn't say that because I thought we might have consciously made that choice for him, but now I'll have to look him up. But anyway, the new Mistress of Menace and Murder is the making of Spider-Woman Strikes Back, and this is a documentary short featuring interviews with historian and author C. Courtney Joyner. Of course, he's one of our old school guys. His first C also stands for Courtney, so he changed it to C to not sound pretentious because of his many titles. Unbeknownst to him, though, the changing of the first name to an initial has become a symbol of pretension. He's easygoing and laid back, but always stumbles into sounding pretentious. So that will make for one heck of a short documentary. And it also has a theatrical trailer.
Nice. Okay, so that's that rounds up the week of November 2nd. We had The Secret of the Blue Room from 1933, The Banishing from 2021, Homebodies from 73, The Mystery of Edwin Drood from 35, which I think is based on a Poe story, if I'm not mistaken. Come True from 2020, and The Spider-Woman Strikes Back from 1946, our mutual pick of the week. Yes. Moving right along to the week of November 9th. First one is a biggie here. We have, I can't say that one because that's my pick of the week, so I'll skip that one for now. And I'm glad that I'll have to say right here, I'm glad Brian picked his pick of the week because it was my other alternate pick. So
it was hard. It was these two, and it's like the fact that I saw you pick one, I'm like, you know what? I'll pick the other then.
That's I kind of like when it works out that way.
Yeah.
This next one I'm really looking forward to seeing. This is called Bad Candy from Epic Pictures. 2020 release. Bad Candy follows local Halloween stories of both myth and lessons learned in the community of New Salem. With its annual Psychotronic FM Halloween show, reenactment radio DJs Chili Billy and Paul weave the tales of the supernatural of years gone by. In this small town, it's a grimy ending for most, but will a few good souls survive? You know how we love our anthologies, and anthologies set on Halloween are even better. So I'm very much looking forward to this one.
Yes, I definitely want to see this. Next one is from Mondo Macabro.
Mondo Macabro.
We love to say that. We still need to get a good sound effect for that. And this comes from comes from them. It's called The Designated Victim from 1971. A wealthy decadent count convinces a disillusioned playboy that they shall murder one another's relatives to get away with the perfect crime. So it's kind of like Strangers on a Train there. It says the count murders the playboy's unpleasant wife. Now the playboy finds he cannot keep the end of the bargain while the police finger him for the murder. Wouldn't it be funny if it was replaced with the count from Sesame Street? He's like, why didn't you get away with the murder? But they didn't. I don't think they're doing it that way. No. And there's a guy that looks awfully a lot like Freddie Mercury, like a young Freddie Mercury when he had the long hair.
Oh yeah.
In this, it was kind of threw me off because I know it can't be, but a lot of special features on this one actually from Mondo Macabro here. We got the 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, original theatrical cut, or new exclusive extended cut with alternate scenes integrated back into the film. Oh, maybe that's where the Count puppet comes in. I don't know. It says new interview with co-writer and assistant director Aldo Lado,
whose first name is an anagram of his last name.
Yeah, well, but isn't Aldo? No, it's like reminds me of the Brad Pitt and Inglourious Bastards. It's Aldo. New interview with Pierre Clemente's son Balthazar Clemente. Then it's got new audio commentary by it's Giallo, right?
Yeah, Giallo.
Giallo. Because I know Kim and Ket were discussing it too, and I can't remember what they came up with, but anyway, they're experts. Rachel Nisbet and Peter Gilmstad from the Fragments of Fear podcast. So technically they're not film historians, but they're experts in a specific genre. So we let that slide in there, and I did find out a little bit about them. You definitely want to find out about people and
of
also
course,
podcasting,
Yeah.
And Rachel is actually a great film historian. She likes to take a gamble on rare films. She calls it these Nesbets. So, yeah, that was this is what you're getting tonight, let me tell you, because you're not getting much better. And then Peter Gilmstad, it says he loves his job, too, and he likes to refer himself as a Gilm historian. So,
Wow.
Poor Tim's got to put up with this
Even
times.
Cody's documenting these and just shaking her head.
Yeah, she's probably just saying, all right, I'm done. I'm out with this role. Well, beyond that, bad pun and all, it's also got trailers, limited edition features, reversible cover with original ad art on each side. It also comes with a 16-page booklet with brand new writing on the film by Italian film expert Roberto Curti. Now, technically, I guess we should have got something from him, but I think you've suffered enough through this poor release. It comes with set of lobby card reproductions and a numbered edition of 1500 in the usual red case. So I guess Mondo Macabro usually comes in, I guess, red cases. I don't know. I never actually ordered anything from them yet. All the time we talk about them.
That sounds cool, though.
Yeah.
Next up, from MPI Media Group, we have Coming Home in the Dark from 2021. A school teacher is forced to confront a brutal act from his past when a pair of ruthless drifters takes him and his family on a nightmare road trip. This one looks really cool.
Yeah, it did.
This one has a pretty good amount of extras here, too, for a recent release. You have an audio commentary with director James Ashcroft, making of featurettes including Into the Dark with cast and crew, characters, cast, and craft with writers James Ashcroft and Eli Kent, Enabling the Dark with producers Desiree Armstrong, Catherine Fitzgerald, and Mike Minogue, extended interview with Daniel Gillies, trailer with optional commentary by trailer editor Jarrett Gahan, TV spots, Pigs short film, and a BTS image gallery.
Well, the reason why the Pigs are a short film is because they didn't want to hog the whole disc. So, you knew that was coming, didn't you?
I knew it was coming.
Next one is from Full Moon, our good friends at Full Moon, who hosts the David Delval show. No, I forgot what it's called. It's something with David Delval. I don't know. It was cool. I watched a couple.
I have to say something about this one, Brian. I don't know if it's called Maniac Killer or Mania Killer.
Yeah, I corrected it because I kept finding something on Maniac Killer and nothing on Mania Killer. Although Mania Killer sounds cooler.
Well, if you look at the cover, it says Mania Killer.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on here. So who knows?
So, Full Moon will tell us.
Yeah.
A murderous cult kidnaps French prostitutes and tortures them to death to purify them of their evil ways. Too bad, I guess, since they're dead, they can't enjoy life as being purified. But the local pimps, understandably upset, set out after them, as does the man whose girlfriend was kidnapped by the cult and may still be held by them. So you got, like, pimps and, like, other guys, like, teaming up together, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting. I could see why it's called Mania Killer, because there's a lot of mania going on, I guess, in there.
Yeah. No extras on that one either.
No.
Next up, from Media Blasters, we have The Oracle from 1985. Murder victim's spirit reaches out from beyond the grave in an attempt to possess the body of a young woman who has moved into his old apartment. I didn't get to see the trailer for this one.
Oh my god! It was like 80 different subgenres. Looked like it was like a monster, like some guy, like a slasher guy. It was everything going on in this. I can't tell, but definitely seems like it's like one of those 80s 70s films. You know, it's like
yeah.
Where it's like the quality is just like, you know, it's like that certain kind of filming of it. But anyway, bringing on, it's kind of a very similar feel in the next one, which is by Media Blasters. So they have a niche, I think, of movies they like to release.
Yeah.
It seems like. But this one's from a little bit later. Actually, a lot later. It's 2008 now. But filming doesn't quite look like that. But anyway, it's called Wicked Lake. Like I said, from 2008. That says 4 mysterious, attractive girls embark on a road trip for a relaxing weekend getaway in the woods. That premise never ends well.
No.
Unbeknownst to them, Two clans of deranged male misfits follow them to their secluded and picturesque lakeside cabin in the mountains. The girls appear to be easy prey for the predatory perverts until the fateful stroke of midnight when all hell literally breaks loose. It's basically a low budgety with naked women, as Joe Bob would say.
Yeah.
In there, but it kind of looks like one of those revenge flicks, like one of those plot twists, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy kind of thing. But it definitely looks watchable. I mean, I'd give it a whirl if it was on one of the streaming services.
All right, well, that brings us to our picks of the week. My pick of the week was from Arrow, and it is The Hills Have Eyes 4K edition from 1977. And Arrow always puts out great releases, and this is a classic. On the way to California, a family has the misfortune to have their car break down in an area closed to the public and inhabited by violent savages ready to attack. So this has a brand new...
by the way, those savages are... One of them is Randy Savage, Ooh, yeah, I'm going to attack you on the way to California. But, sorry.
that would be... I would watch that.
I would totally watch that, yeah.
Which, speaking of which, have you watched that Undertaker thing on Netflix, the Choose Your Own Adventure thing?
No, I need to.
I need to watch that.
But again, one side thing about staying... Well, it's not side, because we always seem to end up with wrestling at some point in the show. Since I got, Peacock for a while because of Halloween, I've been binging all the old WWE and WWF, like shows, like they have all these old Saturday Night main events, all the old WrestleManias.
Oh, cool!
And it was just cracking me up because they had the famous Saturday Night main event that broke up the Mega Powers, and oh my God, I know that he definitely got better as years went on, but Hulk Hogan in this was just his. Oh, Elizabeth, please survive, Elizabeth. Oh God, you can't die, you can't. I'm just oh my God, this is cringing. I am cringing at this thing. But then when Macho Man comes back and attacks him and he's yelling, he's like, you can't handle the madness. And it's oh my
I gotta
God,
go watch
so
some
many
of this
memories.
now.
Yeah, no, and then then they got WrestleMania 5 on there. They even have. Do you remember when it used to be on before Raw? They had first they had Tuesday Night Titans, then they had the primetime wrestling. It was that 2 hours show with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, like the sports desk kind of thing, and they would just kind of go back through matches. Oh my, he's got all this old stuff. It's so cool.
Oh,
so it's
awesome.
I've been just diving into all this, and they have a really great documentary. If you remember the whole Monday Night Wars, it's like an 18-part documentary or something I watched through. So it's really good. Yeah, nice. It's like an hour. A lot of repeat stuff, though. There's a lot of repeat interviews in there, and so it was hard to watch it straight. I just kept putting it on in the background kind of thing. But, it's pretty solid, though. But of course, this has nothing to do with The Hills Have Eyes.
All right, so here's the extras here. We have a brand new 4K restoration of the film viewable with both original and alternate endings, 4K Blu-ray presentation and high dynamic range, 6 postcards, reversible fold-out poster, limited edition 40-page booklet featuring writing on the film by critic Brad Stevens and a consideration of the Hills franchise by Arrow producer Ewan Cant, illustrated with original archive stills and posters. Audio commentary with actors Michael Berryman, Janus Blythe, Susan Lanier, and Martin Spear, and an audio commentary by a new person, academic Mikkel J. Coven.
Yeah, and he his last name is intentionally a spelling of Coven because and he calls it a Coven because he leads a group of people whose sole purpose is to worship the Karate Kid franchise legend Martin Cove. In case you were wondering.
I would be a member of that.
Oh my God, how could you not?
I know, he's awesome. Audio commentary with Wes Craven and Peter Locke. Looking back on The Hills Have Eyes. Making of documentary featuring interviews with Craven, Locke, actors Michael Berryman, Janus Blythe, Robert Houston, Susan Lanier, Dee Wallace, and director of photography Eric Saarinen. Family Business, an interview with actor Martin Spear. The Desert Sessions, an interview with composer Don Peake. Outtakes, alternate ending, trailers and TV spots, image gallery, original screenplay, reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Paul Shipper. So that sounds like a really cool disc for a really cool movie.
Yeah. Was it that? I kind of remember they had another version of that, previous non-4K version. I don't think it had all this. I think it had a lot, but I think this has a couple of new things on it. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I don't have an original of this on Blu-ray, so this will definitely be one I would be interested in picking up.
I don't know if I have a Blu-ray of it. I may have either a cheap version of the Blu-ray or a better version on a regular DVD. So this might be worth the upgrade. My pick of the week is also an Arrow thing. And, when you get a Shout Factory disc or an Arrow disc, it's pretty much usually at the top of the heap. But now it's like, of course, Severin and Kevin O'Lorber are kind of there too now, so you got to be.
Yeah.
But it's like those are always like kind of taking it like always kind of have the advantage because they have such good things, and especially when I love when they release 80s stuff like this one, which is of course Chud. From 1984, and it's a rash bizarre murders in New York City seem to point to a group of grotesquely deformed vagrants living in the sewers. I've seen them. They do live in the sewers. Alligators and the sewers. Sorry. No, a courageous policeman, a photojournalist, and his girlfriend, and a nutty bum who seem to know a lot about the creatures, band together to try and determine what the creatures are and how to stop them. Was it cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, right? That's
yes,
what CHUD stands for. Yeah. And but that that photojournalist, his girlfriend, and a nutty bum, that's what you call a dream team, in my opinion, especially for an 80s horror film. It is a classic, of course. Brand new restoration for the original film elements. Audio commentary by director Douglas Cheek, writer Shepard Abbott, and actors John Hurd, one of our favorites, Daniel Stern. Oh, look at that, the Home Alone reunion there.
Yeah.
And Christopher Curry. And he will not do you any favors. See what I did there? Okay. Brand new brand new crew interviews, original theatrical trailer, reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Dan Mumford, first pressing only collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film. Now, for an Arrow release of that magnitude, it's not all packed with features, but it's still probably a really good sell. Like, that audio commentary is probably worth every penny of this. I have a feeling so.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do our recap here for the week of November 9th. We had Bad Candy from 2020, The Designated Victim from 71, Coming Home in the Dark from this year, Maniac Killer, or Mania Killer, take your pick, from 1987.
Whatever you find in the stores.
The Oracle from 1985, Wicked Lake from 2008, my pick of the week, The Hills Have Eyes 4K Arrow Collector's Edition from 77, and Brian's pick of the week, Chud from 1984, another fantastic Arrow release.
Yes.
All right, moving right along to November 16th. First one up is a big one. We have the Evil Dead Groovy Collection 4K from Lionsgate. This is a box set spanning 1981 to 2017. It includes Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Ash vs. Evil Dead, the complete series. The Evil Dead 4K Blu-ray, and Blu-ray has a bunch of features. I'll kind of go through each disc here. This is it's not one I would want because I've already got the Evil Dead movies.
Yeah, and the fact that it doesn't have Army of Darkness in there, you don't have the whole set.
Yeah, I did not like that piece of this. It's kind of a weird collection because you don't have, you got the original two movies. You don't have Army of Darkness, which I think is under. There's something weird about Army of Darkness because I ran into that even when we were doing our Slaycation. Like, it's not on the same streaming.
Yeah.
Platform. I think that it's owned by a different company or something.
But it also doesn't have the remake either, which a good like those Friday the 13th great sets has everything in it, and same with the Halloween set.
It's just an incomplete collection.
I mean, I guess the groovy collection, but if Ash is ever more Ash, it's in Army of Darkness, and you don't even have the most ashiest Ash of all.
I know. Yeah, it's a weird set. It just seems like incomplete, but it does have some cool features here. So the on the Evil Dead 4K Blu-ray, you have an audio commentary with writer-director Sam Raimi, producer Robert G. Tapert, and star Bruce Campbell. Excuse me. On the Evil Dead DVD, we have One by One We Will Take You, the untold saga of the Evil Dead. The Evil Dead Treasures from the Cutting Room Floor, Life After Dead, The Ladies of the Evil Dead, The Ladies of the Evil Dead Meet Bruce Campbell, Unconventional, At the Drive-In, Reunion Panel, Discovering the Evil Dead, Makeup Test, Trailer, and TV Spots. On the Evil Dead 2 disc, we have Bloody and Groovy Baby, tribute to Sam Raimi's Evil Dead 2. Audio commentary with writer-director Sam Raimi, actor Bruce Campbell, co-writer Scott Spiegel, and special makeup effects artist Greg Nicotero. Swallowed Souls, the making of Evil Dead 2. Cabin Fever, behind the scenes of Evil Dead 2. Road to Wadesboro, revisiting the shooting location with filmmaker Tony Elwood. Evil Dead 2, Behind the Screams. The Gore, the Merrier. Still galleries and audio commentary. And then finally, we have the Ash vs. Evil Dead Complete Collection Blu-ray, which has Season 1, Inside the World of Ash, How to Kill a Deadite, and Best of Ash audio commentaries. Season 2 is a Season 2 first look, Inside the World of Ash vs. Evil Dead, Up Your Ash, Women Who Kick Ash, Puppets Are Cute, Dawn of the Spawn, Bringing Henrietta Back, The Delta, How to Kill a Deadite, Fatality Mashup, and audio commentaries. And then finally, Season 3, we have a season overview, and Inside the World of Ash vs. Evil Dead feature and audio commentaries. So, I mean, it's got a lot of extras. If you didn't have any of these, I guess I could see maybe picking this up, but I'm perfectly happy with what I've got now.
Yeah, I mean, I want to buy the Avenger. I keep seeing it. It's a good price on Amazon, usually the Blu-ray for... just the Ash vs. Evil Dead series. I think I might just get that at this point. But they have versions of the other stuff, so. Next one up is one that I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, so I didn't get a chance to see it in the theater, and that is Candyman 4K. This is a new one from Universal Studios, 2021. In present day, a decade after the last of the Cabrini Towers were torn down, Anthony and his partner move into a loft in the now gentrified Cabrini. A chance encounter with an old-timer exposes Anthony to the true story behind Candyman. Anxious to use this macabre details in the studio as fresh grist for paintings, he unknowingly opens a door to a complex past that unravels his own sanity and unleashes a terrifying wave of violence. So, there's no features on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some. They just didn't announce them yet. Usually something on.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Next up from RLJ Entertainment, and this is not a surprise because this is going to be a Shudder exclusive next month, I believe.
Yeah.
This is Prisoners of the Ghostland 4K from 2020. This is, of course, a Nicolas Cage vehicle. A notorious criminal must break an evil curse in order to rescue an abducted girl who has mysteriously disappeared. This one looks great. I definitely want to see this one. It's a Nicolas Cage movie. I'm going to watch it regardless.
Yeah, and in this one he meets Russell Tinsworthy, who in this time is portrayed by Bill Moseley. Of course, you get the 9 to 5 reference, from if you look at it, that's what he's dressed like. That's totally what Bill Moseley's dressed like in this.
Extras are making of featurette, UK premiere Q&A with director Sian Sono, producer Ko Mori, and moderated by Alan Jones and a theatrical trailer.
Next one's the pick of the weeks. The next two. But then we'll go to Blue Underground release, and that's Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence in 4K. I know Tim's been watching the series for the challenge.
Yeah, I actually watched this one today, actually.
Oh, nice. 1993. It's a female cop is gunned down and wrongly accused of excessive force and hostage rescue attempt. Maniac Cop returns from the dead once more to seek revenge, destroying everything and anyone that stands in his way. Disc 1 is the 4K Blu-ray, and it's got a 4K restoration of the film, brand new Dolby Atmos track, new audio commentary with director Alan Smithy, so we don't know really who that is. It's the theatrical trailer. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray, which is a 4K restoration of the film, new audio commentary with director, again, Alan Smithy. Wrong Arm of the Law, the making of Maniac Cop 3, deleted and extended scenes, theatrical trailer, poster and still galleries, original synopsis, and first pressing only is a limited edition embossed slip cover.
Yeah, that was definitely the weakest of the trilogy for sure. Yeah, they probably could have stopped it too. Yeah. All right, so that brings us to our picks of the week. Brian and I differed this week, but I don't disagree with his selection at all. So my pick of the week was actually the Blue Underground title Maniac Cop 2 4K. Now they didn't release the original. I'm not sure what's going on there, but they have 2 and 3 this month that they were releasing in 4K.
I think it wasn't out and then it delayed. I think something happened with the whole pressing of these discs or something because everything got delayed. Yeah,
these were actually intended to originally be in October, so they were pushed. Maniac Cop 2 is actually a really solid sequel from 1990. This sequel to Maniac Cop pits Matt Cordell, Robert Zadar as the crazed murderous maniac cop of the first film, now horribly disfigured after a particularly brutal stay in prison, and Turkle, Leo Rossi, a serial killer who likes to murder strippers, against a frenzied NYPD detective Sean McKinney, Robert Davey, who is just one step ahead of a nervous breakdown. So this has a 4K restoration of the film, audio commentary with director William Lustig and filmmaker Nicholas Winding Refn, theatrical trailers, isolated music track, and on disc 2 we have a 4K restoration of the film, audio commentary with director William Lustig and filmmaker Nicholas Winding Refn. Back on the Beat, the making of Maniac Cop 2, Cinefamily Q&A with director William Lustig, deleted scene, theatrical trailers, poster and still gallery, isolated music track, and first pressing only, limited edition embossed slip cover. So that's a really good disc.
Tim, once the first one comes out, you can have your nice little Maniac Cop set in 4K.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that trilogy. I mean, much more than I thought I would.
Yeah, it's funny. The one I picked too to watch was the Warlock series, which is a series I've always kind of wanted to watch. Never saw it, and I ordered the good Vestron set off of Amazon for under $20, for all 3 films, and I ended up loving that series. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to get that one, pick that one up next.
yeah, you should, because it's. I think you really get a kick out of it. I think you'd really enjoy that. So the next one that I picked for the pick of the week, and this is one that Tim and I both loved. And it's from 2020 on Shudder. It's called Caveat. And I'll tell you, if you want to watch it, listen to Kim and Ket's episode on this one, which was another... I mean, all their episodes are phenomenal, but this one was one of those ones that just went above and beyond hilarious. As you could guess by the type of movie. It's like it's to the point of where when I'm watching a movie now, and I know Kim and Ket are planning to do it, I'm pretty much like, okay, this is such a good movie for them.
Yeah, exactly.
If you haven't seen it, though, really good, creepy thing. But anyway, it's about a lone drifter suffering from partial memory loss, accepts a job to look after a psychologically troubled woman in an abandoned house on an isolated island. And I wish they would have said, like the other description we saw, where it said, and there is a caveat, but they did not go and say the title name. But yeah, it's got super creepy visuals. One of those ones that's like kind of a slow burn. You're not really sure what's going on at first, but it's really like... It's so engaging that it pulls you along at the pace it wants you to go, and I think it gives you a rewarding ending. So I would definitely, if you have not seen that, it's still on Shudder. But definitely check it out. That's why I made that the pick of the week. A rare time when I went really movie over features, because I just think Caveats is one that I'm gonna probably order for my collection, just because I enjoyed it so much when I watched it.
Yeah, it's super super creepy. Really really good movie. All right, so to recap, November 16th, we had the Evil Dead Groovy Collection 4K from Lionsgate. We had Candyman 4K, that is the 2021 version. Prisoners of the Ghostland 4K from 2020. Maniac Cop 3 Badge of Silence 4K from 93. And Brian's Pick of the Week, Caveat from 2020. My Pick of the Week, Maniac Cop 2 4K, which is a nice collector's edition from Blue Underground, 1990. Brings us to the week of November 23rd, getting into Thanksgiving time. We did have a couple little notes here. Arrow is releasing 4K releases of our old standard, The Cat O' Nine Tails, which comes up every now and again.
This must be the most said title in the history of this podcast.
I know. And The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. So 2 great titles there that they're releasing in 4K. I did not give them a full rundown, only because I could not find anywhere that they had anything new. These were just 4K releases. So if you've got the previous versions, that's all you're really getting in the upgrade there. But check them out and make sure I'm correct on that. So first up, we only have 3 titles this week. And 2 of them are picks of the week. So the one non-pick of the week here, which actually deserves to be a pick of the week.
I know, that's the thing. It was one of those ones where it's like 3 releases and all of them are solid and could have been pick of the week contenders. So
yeah, so
one of them had to lose.
Yeah, all of these are great though. This is Kino Lorber's Invasion of the Body Snatchers 4K from 1978. San Francisco residents are slowly being replaced by replicas, and it's up to a handful of humans to stop the invasion. So tons of extras here. We got Disc 1, the 4K Blu-ray, has a 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, approved and color graded by director Philip Kaufman. Audio commentary by director Philip Kaufman. And an audio commentary by our good friend and author, film historian Steve Haberman.
Yes, and of course he's the one where he sings Haberman. Haberman does whatever a Haber can when he comes in. But and while that sounds ridiculous, if you didn't know that our film historians tend to sway that way, he also offers incredible input as if he had heightened senses. Counteracts Constantine Nazer. Constantine Nazer got dragged in.
We got a whole mythology going here, like who's counteracts who.
I know, it's like we don't just give you the run of the mill thing. We connect. We make connections.
It's like a whole film historian universe going on. It
is. It's an expanded universe of film historians. It's some alternate universe. They act exactly like we tell them to.
Disc 2 has a 4K restoration of the film. Audio commentary by director Philip Kaufman. Again, our audio commentary by author film historian Steve Haberman. Star-crossed in the Invasion, interview with actress Brooke Adams. Recreating the Invasion, interview with screenwriter W.D. Richter. Scoring the Invasion, interview with composer Denny Zeitlin. Leading the Invasion, interview with actor Art Hindle. Writing the Pod, interview with Jack Finney expert Jack Seabrook. Jack Finney expert, that's an interesting career choice. Yeah. Revisitors from Outer Space, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Pod featurette. Practical Magic, the special effects pod featurette. The Man Behind the Screen, the sound effects pod featurette. The Invasion Will Be Televised, the cinematography pod featurette. And promotional materials, theatrical trailer, TV spots, radio spots, reversible art, and limited edition O-card slipcase. Wow.
Yeah, and remember, just for those, I mean, by the time you hear this, it'll be too late. But this was one of the, this is technically a movie you could have used for that really difficult challenge on the horror challenge of watching a movie, you know, that was remade more than once.
Mm-hmm,
and you could watch any of them.
Yeah.
So you could have just, as long as it was remade more than once, you could watch the original, the remake, or remake number 2. Tim and I chose poorly.
Yeah.
And did we ever get responses on that on Instagram? There was a whole conversation going on.
Yeah.
About
that. Black Christmas is one.
Yeah, and how everyone was kind of in agreement of us of not liking it. So that was that tells you something. If people agree with Tim and I,
yeah,
something's got to be right. So I guess I'll do my pick of the week first, the other two, and that is an Arrow release again, as I tell you. The Arrow has the arrow goes right to my heart, so to speak. And this one is Phantom of the Mole, Eric's Revenge. Part of it, too, is because that title just cracked me up. It's from 1989. It's a guy called Eric, surprise, owns a huge house, and some greedy people want to build a mall over it. So they get someone to burn down his house. Eric is badly burned but not dead, and a year later, the mall opens. That's really fast for creating a mall.
Yes.
Especially if you live in the East Coast and you realize that the American Dream Mall took over 25 years to create.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're living underneath the mall, and he's very angry. Hence the title. I mean, I've never seen a descriptive more that like matches the title so perfectly. Anyway, it looks fun. I've always kind of I've never seen this, but I've always kind of wanted to. That's why I kind of put it there. It's got a limited edition 2-disc Blu-ray contents list here, and it's 3 versions of the feature: original theatrical cut, TV cut, and bonus integral fan cut. So that's interesting. 60-page, fully illustrated, perfect bound book. Until I open it, and then I destroy the perfect one. Featuring new writing by David Budnick and Amanda Reyes, who will focus later, many a times through this podcast. Large fold-out double-sided poster featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Justin Osborne. 6 postcard-sized lobby card reproductions. Limited edition packaging with reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Justin Osborne. Then that's just the stuff. But now here's the discs broken down. Disc 1 is a theatrical cut Blu-ray. It's got a new 2K restoration. Sorry, I have a hiccup there. Brand new audio commentary with director Richard Friedman, moderated by filmmaker Michael Felsher. It's got the brand new audio commentary, as we said, with this producer. Oh no, sorry, this is the other. No, it's with Ewan Cant. And I don't know what he can't do, but maybe Ewan can't handle the truth. I don't know. And film historian, there she is, author Amanda Reyes. And, of course, she was the one, she knows the amazing, rarely known facts about obscure movies, like Dennis Christopher's Lunch and all that stuff. She doesn't get along with Bill Ackerman really well. I mean, they like each other. They just had an awkward first meeting because they didn't realize each other were film historians. I don't need to go to the exact very detail. Once Cody's book comes out, My Life as a Film Historian Intern, you'll be able to get in the glossary all the descriptions of them. Shop Till You Drop, The Making of Phantom of the Mall, brand new making of documentary featuring interviews with director Richard Friedman, screenwriters Scott Schneid and Tony Michelman, actors Derek Rydell and Gregory Scott Cummins, filmmaker Tony Caden, and special effects makeup creator Matthew Mungle. It's funny. If they should have done, if either this series or Chopping Mall ever had sequels, imagine, and they got really big, they could have a crossover, like Chopping Revenge of the Mall. But who knows? The Vandals Go to the Mall, sung by Robin Sparkles. No, only kidding. An interview with Joe Escalante of the Vandals on the creation of Phantom of the Mall's theme song. Alternate and deleted scenes from the TV cut, domestic and international trailers, image gallery, Scott Schneid and Tony Michelman's original script, and associated special effects storyboards by Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. That's BD-ROM content, by the way. Disc 2 has the TV and integral fan cuts. Brand new 2K restoration of the TV cut with standard definition inserts for the footage unique to this version. And then the integral fan cut is combining footage from both the original theatrical and TV cuts for the ultimate Phantom of the Mall experience.
Oh, that's what
it's
that is.
It's a 96-minute version of the film.
That's
cool. Which I guess is actually somewhat significant. It's almost 10 minutes longer. Because the TV cut was 89 minutes, and that's usually longer than And the other one is 90 minutes. So yeah, so you get about 6 or 7 minutes depending on which version you see, more film. So if you're a big fan of Fan on the Wall, it's good. And that's an Arrow disc. That's the kind of. I mean, look how much you get with that.
Yeah, that's a great one. Mine is a Kino Lorber disc, and this is one I'm definitely getting. Whether I get it for Christmas or pick it up myself, I don't know. But this is definitely going on my wish list.
Yeah,
this is the Night Gallery Season 1 from 69 to 73. Prepare for the chill of a lifetime as the master of suspense Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone hosts every spine-tingling episode from the complete first season of Night Gallery. So this has a new 2K restoration of the 2-hour pilot and 6 episodes from an interpositive, along with the episode guide insert booklet. We'll run down the extras here because there's a lot of film historians here.
Yeah, so some duplicate at least, thank God, here.
Yeah, so we have a new audio commentary for the pilot by screenwriter historian Gary Girani.
Yes, and Tim, you know him. He's cool as they come, walks into the room, and everyone goes to him because he's just that cool. Likes to go by GG or Double G, and he wears those open-chested velour tops so his perfectly coiffed chest hair can have its moment to shine.
We have a lot of chest hair.
Yeah, I know. I might have a problem. He commands the room from his personality to his chest hair. It's obviously a ladies' man.
We're really obsessed with our ladies' man.
Yeah.
We got a new audio commentary for The Dead Man / The Housekeeper by Night Gallery authors and historians Jim Benson and Scott Skelton.
Yeah, so I of course I dug deep. Jim Benson, actually, he's the unknown former rival to the late puppeting legend Jim Henson. Actually, I don't know if you knew, but they both competed in puppeting contests, Tim, around the world. But history tells who the obvious winner was, of course. But in case you wanted to know, Jim Benson's most promising puppets were Kelvin the Hog, Bart and Arnie, and Oliver the Grinch. So it's good.
Well, I have to know about Scott Skelton now.
Yes, you do. They nickname him Red because, of course, his buddies in college poking fun that he's the same last name as the comedy legend Red Skelton. But ironically, he was also very thin, with his grandmother constantly telling him to eat your old skin and bones.
Oh, okay. Well, moving right along. Yeah. New audio commentary for Room with a View / The Little Black Bag / The Nature of the Enemy by Night Gallery authors historians Jim Benson and Scott Skelton, who we just mentioned.
Yeah, and so Jim Benson, he's the unknown former... No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to read it all again.
New audio commentary for The House / Certain Shadows on the Wall by film historian Tim Lucas. He's our Southern
redneck gentleman, Tim.
I'm starting to learn these now.
I know. You're knowing them by heart, which is bad.
Yeah.
You're going to put Cody out of work, number 1, 2, and you're going to have a lot of information in your head that you're just never going to get rid of, unfortunately.
New audio commentary for The House / Certain Shadows on the Wall by author historian Amanda Reyes, who we just talked about. Yes. New audio commentary for Make Me Laugh / Clean Kills and Other Trophies by filmmaker historian Constantine Nazer and Night Gallery book publisher Taylor L.
He's one of your favorites, Tim.
Oh, I love Nazer. His brain was transplanted into Johnny Five from Short Circuit.
Yes, because he says Nazer lips.
We're the only ones that get that. We're so old. New audio commentary for Pamela's Voice / Lone Survivor / The Doll by novelist critic Kim Newman, who's grandfathered in, and writer-editor Stephen Jones. New audio commentary for They're Tearing Down Tim Riley's Bar / The Last Laurel by film historian Craig Beam. He's a new one, right?
He is, but last week we had Justin Beam. So last month I meant, and so I've looked at. They're no relation to Justin Beam though, but Craig was the top of all his classes and an expert in his film historian duties. So they often refer to him as Beam of the Crop.
And considering continuing on with Mr. Beam, Beam, the Syndication Conundrum, a look at the show's troubled second life in reruns, a new featurette by film historian Craig Beam. So to recap, the week of November 23rd, we had Kino Lorber's Invasion of the Body Snatchers 4K from 78, Brian's Pick of the Week, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge, an Arrow release from 89, packed with extras, and my Pick of the Week, Kino Lorber's Night Gallery Season 1 from 1969 to 1973.
Yes.
So that brings us to our last week, November 30th, taking us right into the holiday season.
There's only 2. Oh, no, 4. There's 4 this week.
Yeah, just 4. One of them is our mutual pick of the week, which is going to be a really cool one to talk about. But first up, we have Warner Brothers' Malignant from 2021. Of course, that got my most viral tweet ever.
Wow,
almost had 1,300 tweets with that one. or
Yeah,
1,300 likes.
Tim like exploded into the viral stratosphere with that one.
That was crazy. So the description is: Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities. Of course, we both love this one. Special features: Malignant, James Wan's visions. Groundbreaking filmmaker James Wan takes us behind the scenes for a look at his latest film, Malignant, a genre-bending thriller.
Yes. And yeah, that was both. I think still I think a lot of people still tend to favor it more than hate it, but there was definitely a lot of haters out there, and I didn't see it personally because I think it's everything I expected and wanted out of a James Wan movie. So
I think if you don't understand James Wan's influences when he made that, I could see where you'd be lost.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not gonna fault someone for not liking something, especially because I mean, Tim and I are I think we might be the only two that weren't fans of Haunt, apparently. But
yeah, apparently.
I still see people coming out of the woodwork saying how much they love that one. I'm like, did we see the wrong movie? I don't know.
I still don't understand it. Well, whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, the next movie is from Lionsgate, and that's Saint Maud, which is one I keep putting on my list. I still never have gotten to sit down and see it. I still need a couple of movies for my horror challenge, non-objective ones, because I'll have covered all of them. So this might be one of the picks. That's Saint Maud from 2019. A pious nurse becomes dangerously obsessed with saving the soul of her dying patient. Not much on there, but it does have an audio commentary with writer-director Rose Glass and a higher calling, The Rapture of Saint Maud.
Yeah, that one's really high on my list. I've heard really good things about it. Next up from Arrow is Mill of the Stone Women from 1960. Hans arrives in a town near Amsterdam to write a story on the reclusive sculptor Professor Val, who lives on an island in the old mill house the locals call the Mill of the Stone Women. Hans meets the professor's beautiful and seductive daughter and begins feeling passion for her despite his true love for Lisa Lotta. Slowly, he becomes aware of the nefarious experiments being conducted by Val and his furtive assistant, Dr. Bowles, and local women continue to disappear.
As confusing, Tim, as your description of that, that's how confusing the trailer was.
I did not get to see the trailer, but I want to go check this out. It's a packed... I've never heard of this movie, but it is a packed disc here from Arrow. We have 2-disc limited edition. It's got a new 2K restoration from the original negative by Arrow Films. 1080p presentations of 4 different versions of the film. The original 96-minute Italian and English export versions, the 90-minute French version containing exclusive footage, and the 95-minute US version containing alternate dubbing, reordered scenes, and added visual effects. Wow. Limited edition packaging with reversible sleeve featuring original newly commissioned artwork by Adam Rabelais? Sure, we'll go with that. Illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film by Roberto Curti, an in-depth comparison of the different versions by Brad Stevens, and a selection of contemporary reviews. Fold-out double-sided poster featuring original newly commissioned artwork by Adam Rabelais, 6 double-sided postcard-sized lobby card reproduction art cards. On disc 1, we have a restored original lossless mono Italian and English soundtracks, newly translated with English subtitles, new audio commentary by our southern gentleman Tim Lucas, author of Mario Bava, All the Colors of the Dark. Colors of the Dark is that's where they got their podcast name. Mill of the Stone Women and the Gothic Body, a new visual essay on the trope of the wax statue woman in Gothic horror by author and critic Kat Ellinger, who Kat Ellinger is also grandfathered in.
Yes.
Turn to Stone, a newly edited featurette containing archival interviews with actress Liana Orfai and film historian Fabio Malelli. Never heard of him.
Yeah, no. Well, before he became a film historian, actually was a candy confectioner's apprentice back when he was a young lad, and he secretly created his own candy called Malelli Pops.
Sounds delicious.
Especially but it was a little confusing, because when he went, he goes, "Would you like to try some of my Lily Pops?" And they're like, "But they're yours." He goes, "No, they're for you, but they're my Lily Pops." Oh God, we've just destroyed any chance of.
This guy. I'm picturing this Wonka-esque dude.
Right? He's purple suit, purple hat.
Yeah.
If you want to view paradise, yeah.
A little chat with Dr. Mabuse, an archival interview with actor Wolfgang Price. Rare opening titles from the UK release, retitled Drops of Blood. German opening titles, US and German theatrical trailers, and image galleries. And then on disc 2, we have the original mono French soundtrack, original mono English soundtrack, and newly translated English subtitles for the French soundtrack. That sounds like a good one.
Well, our final film is a pick of the week, and boy, is this a doozy. And it's Severin film, and it would have won for its just for its pun alone. Its pun game with this, and it's from Severin Films, who like release box sets like nobody else. I'll tell you, their box sets are like probably some of the best. I mean, Shout Factory's Friday the 13th was great, but it's easy to come out with a Friday the 13th box set. No, I'm not trying to diminish the quality of it, but but when you try and get like some of the stuff Severin comes out with, I don't even know where they find it.
Like Severin is one of those companies. Like if I would buy a box set unseen. Like I would trust.
And we have.
Yeah. I mean, I basically just be like, okay, if you put it in a box set, I'm sure it's worth checking out.
Yeah, no, and they give like special like sets with like that one with the witches thing that they gave the one that had like dinnerware with it that had like a plate or something.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, they got great stuff. But anyway, what we're referring to specifically in this one by Severin Films is Nasty Habits, the Nunsploitation Collection by 1972 to 1980. Was it Rebecca McKendry likes the Nunsploitation?
Oh, yeah, she loves nun movies.
Yeah, so she probably have already pre-ordered this thing. So, in case you don't know, it's from 1972 to 80. It says, throughout the 70s, Italian filmmakers fired a cannon of blasphemy to launch what remains the most controversial genre of all. Partake in its unholy sacrament with these 4 uncut, uncensored nunsploitation classics. In Sergio Bergonzelli's Christiana Devil Nun, here in 2 extreme versions, a born-again nymphomaniac finds pleasures of the flesh in a convent of the damned. Susie Kendall and Eleonoria Giorgi star in Domenico Paolella's historically accurate and wholly immoral story of a cloistered nun. Sleaze Maestro Joe. That's always what you want to get preceding your name. Sleaze Maestro Joe D'Amato combines sapphic lust, satanic panic, and pure filth for images in a convent.
Oh, I love it.
You got like that one alone, right? That's the winner in there. It says, and with the true story of the Nun of Monza, directed by Bruno Mattei, fulfills ungodly vows of graphic sacrilege. Severin Films proudly presents this superfluity of depravity, in each mastered with all new special features produced exclusively for this collection. And so I looked it up. There's 2 versions right now already. There's $70 or $75 for the Nundle. They call it.
That's great.
Pun game achieved, Severin. Yes. And that comes with 2 photo comics. So you get Nunsploitation comics. I didn't know that was a thing. Apparently it is.
Wow.
So, of course, each disc, there's 4 discs in it each for the movie. We'll go through them really quick here. First one is Christiana, Devil Nun. It's an extended Italian cut of the film with optional partial English audio. Just that partial thing. It's like they don't finish these tasks anymore. Sisters of Vice and Virtue, The Marquis de Sade, and Nunsploitation, video essay by Lindsay Hallam. Disc 2 is Story of a Cloistered Nun. It says Down the Well, interview with actress Martine Brochard. A Nun Story, interview with actress Eleonora Giorgi. Within a Cloister, interview with camera operator Danielle Nanunzi. It's got a trailer, and that's it on that one. Disc 3 is Images in a Convent, and our grandfathered in expert there, audio commentary with Kat Ellinger, author of Daughters of Darkness, and 25-minute deleted scenes with optional commentary by Kat Ellinger. And the final disc is Disc 4, The True Story of the Nun of Monza, The Cross and the Sin, interview with screenwriter Claudio Fragasso, and Sister Zora, interview with actress Zora Karova. And, while if you think about it, like for a Severin box set, the features are actually not a lot for it, but I think it's the movies you're getting, they've all never been released before.
Right.
And probably that was never expected to be released until someone like a Severin comes along and decides to do this. I think one of them I saw because there was actually a trailer for this. It's like a 4.5-minute trailer. It's like kind of was like a dismembered a little, but they went through some of the special features. But one of them is like I think it's the full X-rated cut. Apparently was this. So there's like versions I think of this stuff. I think there's a couple of little bit more features than listed here, because I think there was a couple of versions on some of the films on there too. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a box set I'm so tempted to buy just because it's like I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those rare sets.
Right. Yeah. It seems like one that you won't be able to get your hands on again.
Yeah, like that Al Adams one, which I think if that ever came back to sale, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. But
yeah. Well, to recap the week of November 30th, we had Malignant from 2021, Saint Maud from 2019, Mill of the Stone Women, which is actually a very packed Arrow Collector's Edition, and then our pick of the week, Nasty Habits, an Unsploitation collection from Severin Films, which is a great 4-disc box set of nunsploitation movies, which I would be really curious about. So yeah, that wraps it up for November. Next month we'll be back with your Christmas stocking stuffers.
Oh boy, and that's everything. Because maybe we should almost like try and maybe combine that with our maybe instead of putting it in our regular episode, we'll put our like gift guide in with that. Maybe it'll be a gift guide / dismemberment episode.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right,
yeah,
guys,
change it up.
So we will see you back here next month. Take care.
Yeah.